Most people check their doors at night, make sure they're locked, closed, safe. But almost no one checks their windows. My chest tightens when I think about it, because windows feel different. They're not an entrance. They're something you look through, something that lets you see outside, but that works both ways. You look out, and something can look in. You don't think about it. Not really. Because most nights, there's nothing there. Just darkness. Just reflection. Just your own face staring back at you, but not every night. Some nights, the reflection isn't yours. And that's the moment everything changes. Because the second you realize you're not looking at yourself, you understand something much worse. You were never alone in the room. And in that moment, something becomes undeniable. Whatever is outside your window has already been watching you. It didn't move. That's what made it worse. My chest tightens when I think about it. Because movement you can explain. Wind, shadows, anything. But stillness, that means intention. Ethan was sitting in his room, lights off. Only the faint glow from his phone. The window in front of him reflected everything inside. His face, there's the room, the quiet, normal. Until he noticed something behind the reflection. A shape. Not clear. Not detailed. Just there. Outside. His chest tightened slightly. Because it didn't match anything. Not a tree. Not a shadow. Not something familiar. He looked up. Directly at the window. And for a second, it blended with the darkness. Almost gone. Almost invisible. But not completely. Because now he knew where to look. And in that moment, something became undeniable. There was something outside the window. And it wasn't supposed to be there. He didn't react. Not immediately. My chest tightens when I think about it. Because your brain always tries to fix things first. To make them normal. To make them safe. Ethan leaned back slightly, still looking at the window, still seeing that shape. But now, he tried to explain it. A reflection, a shadow, something from inside the room. He moved his hand, slow, watching carefully. The reflection followed, perfect, normal. But the shape behind it didn't. His chest tightened a little more. Because now, it wasn't matching anything. He shifted his position, changed the angle, trying to break it, trying to make it disappear. But it stayed. Same place, same height, same position, unchanged. And in that moment, something became undeniable. It wasn't part of the reflection. It was separate. Something outside that wasn't reacting to him at all. He shouldn't have moved, but he did. My chest tightens when I think about it, because curiosity always feels harmless, right before it isn't. Ethan leaned forward, slow, careful, like getting closer would make it clearer, like distance was the problem. The window filled more of his view now, and the reflection faded slightly. The outside became darker, deeper, and that shape became sharper. Still no details, no face, no clear outline, just a form, standing there, unmoving. His chest tightened harder, because now it wasn't blending anymore. It was separate, defined, real. He stopped, close enough to see, close enough to confirm or regret it. And in that moment, something became undeniable. Getting closer didn't explain it. It made it real. He leaned in just a little more. Barely. My chest tightens when I think about it, because this is where everything breaks. The shape outside the window moved. Not fast, not dramatic. Just a shift, a small adjustment. But it happened before he moved. His chest tightened instantly because he hadn't done anything yet. Or not enough. Not in time. And still, it reacted. He froze completely, trying to understand, trying to catch it again, trying to prove it wrong. And then he moved his head slightly, and again. It adjusted first. Same direction, same motion. Perfect timing. Ahead of him, his chest tightened harder. Because now, this wasn't coincidence. This wasn't delay. This was anticipation. And in that moment, something became undeniable. It wasn't reacting to him. It was moving before he did. He stopped moving. Completely. My chest tightens when I think about it. Because once something reacts like that, you don't test it. You wait. Ethan stared at the shape, trying to see more, trying to understand what he was looking at. But it didn't become clearer. It became focused. The position shifted slightly, not the body, not the outline, the direction, like it adjusted to face him directly. His chest tightened instantly, because now it wasn't just there. It was looking, not at the room, not at the reflection, at him, directly. He stepped back, just a little, and it didn't follow, didn't move, didn't need to, because its gaze stayed locked, perfectly aligned, no matter where he stood. And in that moment, something became undeniable. It didn't need to move closer. It was already looking exactly where he was. He looked away, fast. My chest tightens when I think about it, because sometimes not looking feels like safety. Ethan turned his back to the window, facing the room, facing something familiar, something he could understand. He took a breath, trying to calm down, trying to reset, trying to convince himself it was nothing. Just his imagination, just the dark, just a mistake. Then, that feeling, again, stronger this time, not behind him, not outside, inside the room. His chest tightened violently, because now the direction was wrong. He wasn't facing the window anymore, but the feeling didn't stay behind him. It shifted, adjusted, like it wasn't outside anymore, like it had moved without needing to move. He swallowed slowly, because now turning away didn't create distance. And in that moment, something became undeniable. It didn't stay outside the window. It changed position the moment he looked away. He didn't turn back. Not immediately. My chest tightens when I think about it, because sometimes not seeing feels safer than knowing. Ethan stood there, facing the room, trying to stay calm, trying not to react. But the feeling didn't fade. It got closer, heavier, like something wasn't outside anymore, like it was sharing the same space behind him, not far, not distant, right there. He tried to ignore it, tried to stay still, tried not to confirm it. Then a sound, soft, from inside the room, not the window, not outside, behind him. His chest tightened violently, because now there was no barrier, no glass, no separation, just space, shared. And in that moment, something became undeniable. It didn't stay outside the window. It was already inside with him. He turned, chest tightens when I think about it, because once you decide to look, you're accepting whatever is there. The room was empty, exactly the same. Nothing changed. Nothing moved. No one there. His chest tightened harder, because that didn't make sense. The feeling was still there. Close. Too close. But then, he looked at the window again, and froze. The shape was still outside. Same position. Same place. Unmoving. Watching. His chest tightened violently, because now it existed in two places. Outside and inside at the same time. No movement, no transition, no explanation, just presence. And in that moment, something became undeniable. It didn't need to come through the window. It was already inside before he even looked away. It wasn't a sound at first, more like a pattern. My chest tightens when I think about it, because patterns mean intention. Lena sat at her desk, late, room quiet, window to her right. She wasn't looking at it, not thinking about it. Then a tap, light, barely there. She ignored it, assumed it was nothing. Wind, branches, something outside. Then another, same place, same timing. Her chest tightened slightly, because random sounds don't repeat that cleanly. She turned her head, slowly, and looking at the window. Dark outside, nothing visible, no movement, no shape, just reflection. Her own face, her room, normal. Then tap from the glass, directly in front of her. And in that moment, something became undeniable. The sound wasn't random. It was coming from someone on the other side. She shouldn't have done it, but she did. My chest tightens when I think about it, because interaction changes everything. Lena stared at the glass, trying to see something, anything. But the darkness outside stayed still, empty. Then another tap, same spot, close to her hand. She hesitated, just for a second, then lifted her finger and tapped the glass. Light, quick, testing. The sound echoed slightly, then nothing. Silence, stillness. Her chest loosened a little, relief. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe she imagined the pattern, maybe tap. From the other side, same place, same timing, matching her. Her chest tightened instantly, because now it wasn't random. It wasn't outside noise. It was responding directly. And in that moment, something became undeniable. She didn't just hear something. She made contact with something on the other side. She froze, fingers still near the glass. My chest tightens when I think about it, because once something responds, you expect it to stop, but it didn't. Lena tapped again, slightly slower this time, testing the rhythm, trying to break it, trying to control it. A second passed, then tap, same rhythm, same delay. Perfect. Her chest tightened harder, because that wasn't coincidence. That wasn't random. That was precise. She changed it. 2 taps, quick, close together, and then waited. Silence for just a moment. She thought it stopped. Then tap, tap, exact match. Same spacing, same timing, perfect again. Her chest tightened violently, because now it wasn't just reacting, it was copying, learning, keeping up with her. And in that moment, something became undeniable. Whatever was on the other side was following her exactly. She stopped tapping completely. My chest tightens when I think about it, because silence should end it, break the pattern, reset everything. Lena lowered her hand, stepping back slightly, waiting for it to stop, waiting for the connection to fade. For a moment, nothing happened. No sound, no movement, just the reflection, just her. Then, tap from the glass. She didn't move, didn't raise her hand, didn't react, and still tap again. Same spot, same force, same timing. Her chest tightened instantly. Because now, it wasn't copying, it wasn't responding, it was initiating. She stayed still, watching, trying to understand, trying to catch it. Then, tap, tap, 2 in a row, before she even thought to move. And in that moment, something became undeniable. It didn't need her to start anymore. It could go first. She stepped back, further. My chest tightens when I think about it. Because distance should break alignment. It should. Lena moved away from the window, slowly, watching the glass, watching that exact spot, trying to stay out of reach, trying to disconnect. Then, tap. But not where her hand was before. Lower. Closer to where her hand moved. Her chest tightened instantly. Because she hadn't touched the glass. Not yet. Not there. Then, she lifted her hand. Slow. Careful. And before her finger even reached the surface, tap. Exactly where it was about to land. She froze. Because now, it wasn't reacting to contact. It was anticipating position, predicting location, matching her before she arrived. And in that moment, something became undeniable. It didn't just follow her movement. It knew where her hand was going to be. She pulled her hand away. Fast. My chest tightens when I think about it. Because now, instinct finally catches up. Lena stepped back again, creating distance, breaking the line, trying to end whatever this was. The window stayed still, silent, empty. For a moment, it felt like it was over. Then, tap. Not at the glass, lower, near the frame. Closer to where she was standing now. Her chest tightened instantly, because it adjusted, not to the window, to her. She moved to the side, testing it, breaking the angle. Then, tap. Again. New position, matching her location, closer, always closer. Her breathing shifted, uneven, because now it wasn't interacting with the window. It was interacting with her position in the room. And in that moment, something became undeniable. It didn't want her to touch the glass. It wanted her to get closer. She stopped moving completely. And my chest tightens when I think about it. Because now, any movement feels like a mistake. And the window was still. No shape, no outline, no reflection that didn't belong. Just glass, just darkness. But the tapping didn't stop. It changed. Closer now. Not sharp, not echoing. Duller, softer. Like it wasn't hitting glass anymore. Her chest tightened instantly. Because that's impossible. Sound should travel through the surface, bounce, resonate, but that felt muted, contained, near. She stepped back slightly, and the sound followed. Same position, same distance, always relative to her. Not the window, not outside. Her chest tightened harder, because now the location was wrong. The direction was wrong. And in that moment, something became undeniable. The sound wasn't coming from the window anymore. It was coming from inside the room. She moved back, fast. My chest tightens when I think about it. Because once something crosses that line, you don't test it. You leave. Lena stepped away from the window, further into the room, toward the door, toward anything that felt normal. The glass stayed still. No shape, No movement, nothing outside. But the tapping didn't stay there. It followed. Same distance, same position, like it wasn't tied to the window at all. Her chest tightened violently, because now it wasn't about outside or inside. It was about her, wherever she went. The sound adjusted, matched, stayed close. She reached the door, hand on the handle, ready to leave, and then tap right beside her hand. And in that moment, something became undeniable. It didn't stay at the window. It moved with her. She froze, hands still on the handle. My chest tightens when I think about it, because now there was no distance left. The tapping didn't echo, didn't travel. It was direct, close, right beside her. She didn't turn, didn't look, because looking would confirm it, and confirmation makes it real. Her chest tightened harder, because the space next to her felt occupied, not visible, not defined, but present. Then tap, not on the wall, not on the door, right next to her hand, same height, same position, like something was standing there, matching her, breathing with her, existing beside her. And in that moment, something became undeniable. It wasn't outside anymore. It wasn't even in the room. It was exactly where she was standing. She closed her eyes, tight. My chest tightens when I think about it, because sometimes not seeing feels safer, but it doesn't change anything. The tapping stopped. Silence. Heavy. Still. For a second, she thought it was over, that it ended, that it left, and then tap. Not outside, not beside her, inside. Her chest tightened violently, because this time she didn't hear it in the room. She felt it. Deep. Close. Wrong. Like the sound didn't travel. It originated from somewhere too near, too internal, too real. Her breathing broke, because now there was no direction, no distance, no separation. And in that moment, something became undeniable. It didn't come from outside. It didn't move through the room. It was already inside her awareness. He didn't like the window. Never did. My chest tightens when I think about it, because some people don't need a reason. They just feel it. Marcus always kept the curtain closed, every night, no exceptions, even when it was hot, even when it felt unnecessary, because the window didn't feel like glass. It felt like exposure, like something on the other side could see more than it should. The room was dark, quiet, safe. At least that's what he told himself. He lay in bed, facing away from the window, not thinking about it, not looking at it, because looking creates connection, and connection changes things. For a while, everything felt normal. And then a thought, simple, uninvited. What if something is already there? His chest tightened slightly, because that thought didn't feel like his. And in that moment, something became undeniable. He wasn't avoiding the window. He was avoiding whatever might already be there. He stayed still for a moment. My chest tightens when I think about it, because hesitation feels like control, like you're still deciding. Marcus lay there, facing the wall, not the window, trying to ignore it, trying to let the thought pass, but it didn't. It stayed. Quiet. Persistent. Just check, that's all. No urgency, no fear, just curiosity. He shifted slightly, almost without noticing, turning just a little closer to the window. His chest tightened a bit more, because now he was already moving, already responding, already following it. He stopped, trying to resist, trying to stay where he was. But the thought didn't leave. It didn't need to, because it had already worked. And in that moment, something became undeniable. It didn't force him to look. It made him want to look. He turned, slowly. My chest tightens when I think about it, because once you give in, you don't stop halfway. Marcus rolled onto his back, facing the ceiling, then the window. The curtain was still closed, dark fabric, blocking everything outside. Nothing visible, nothing unusual. His chest loosened slightly, relief, because there was nothing to see, nothing to confirm, and nothing to fear. He stared at it, waiting for something to change, waiting for something to appear. But nothing did. Just the curtain, still, quiet, normal. Then a shift, subtle, almost nothing, but enough. The fabric moved, not from wind, not from air, from behind it. His chest tightened instantly, because now something wasn't outside the window. It was right behind the curtain. And in that moment, something became undeniable. Whatever he avoided was already waiting on the other side. He didn't blink. Couldn't. My chest tightens when I think about it, because once something moves like that, you expect it to stop, to hide, to disappear. But it didn't. Marcus shifted slightly, just a small movement, testing it, testing himself. The curtain moved, same direction, same distance, perfectly. His chest tightened instantly, because that wasn't wind, that wasn't random, that was response. He moved again, a little more this time, and again. The fabric followed, matching him, staying aligned, like something behind it was adjusting to him, not to the window, not to the room, to him. And in that moment, something became undeniable. It wasn't reacting to the curtain. It was reacting to his position. He stopped, completely. My chest tightens when I think about it, because silence should break it. It should reset everything. Marcus held his breath, not moving, not reacting, watching the curtain, waiting for it to stop. For a moment, it did. No movement, no shift, just still fabric, just silence. Then it moved. Before he did, a small ripple, a shift in the exact direction he was about to turn. His chest tightened instantly, because the thought came after, not before. He hadn't moved yet, hadn't even decided, and still it adjusted perfectly. Again, he felt the motion inside his own intention, like the action had already happened somewhere else. And in that moment, something became undeniable. It wasn't following him anymore. It was moving before he even chose to. He stared at it, unblinking. My chest tightens when I think about it, because once something moves like that, you start questioning the barrier. The curtain shifted again, subtle, controlled, but this time, it didn't feel like it was behind it. It felt closer. Not outside the window, not behind the glass. Closer. Inside the room. Marcus didn't move and didn't breathe properly, because now distance felt wrong. The fabric shouldn't change like that, not without something touching it. But there was no shape, no outline, no visible form, just movement where nothing should be. His chest tightened violently, because now The window didn't matter. The curtain didn't matter. The barrier didn't exist. And in that moment, something became undeniable. It wasn't waiting outside anymore. It was already on his side. He sat up, slow. My chest tightens when I think about it. Because once the barrier breaks, you feel it. Not see it. Feel it. The curtain stopped moving. Completely. Still again. Like nothing had happened. But the room felt different. Heavier. Occupied. Marcus looked away from the window. Toward the room. Toward the space behind him. And that's when it hit him. The direction changed. The feeling wasn't at the window anymore. It was inside. With him. Close. Too close. He didn't turn fully. Didn't need to. Because the distance was gone. Whatever had been outside was now sharing the same space. Breathing. Existing. Right there. And in that moment, something became undeniable. He didn't need the window anymore. He was already standing in the room with him. He didn't move. Couldn't. My chest tightens when I think about it. Because now, any movement feels like surrender. And the room stayed quiet, still, unchanged. But the feeling shifted, not around him, through him. Marcus tried to think, to decide what to do next. Turn, stand, run. Simple options, normal reactions. But every choice felt late, like it had already been made, somewhere else, before him. He focused, tried to act first, to move before the thought formed, but it didn't work. Because the intention came after the feeling, after the motion, after something had already happened. His chest tightened violently because now he wasn't leading his own actions. He was catching up to them. And in that moment, something became undeniable. It wasn't reacting to him anymore. It was ahead of him, deciding first. He tried to stay still, every muscle locked. My chest tightens when I think about it. Because if it's ahead of him, movement isn't his anymore. The room held its breath, silent, waiting. Marcus focused on one thing, a single action, stand up, clear, simple. His decision, his choice. But before his body moved, something shifted. Not him, not the room. A presence, a step, soft, measured, real. His chest tightened violently, because he hadn't moved yet, not even slightly. And still, it happened. Another step, closer, perfectly aligned with what he was about to do. Not copying, not following, replacing. And in that moment, something became undeniable. It didn't wait for him to act. It acted instead of him. He stood there, still. My chest tightens when I think about it. Because once something replaces your actions, you lose the difference. Marcus tried to move his hand, slow, careful, and it moved perfectly. No delay, no resistance, exactly as it should. His chest tightened harder, because that's the problem. When everything works, you can't prove anything is wrong. He blinked. The room stayed the same. He breathed. Everything felt normal. Too normal. He spoke. His voice sounded right. No distortion, no change, nothing out of place. And in that moment, something became undeniable. If something can take your place without error, there's no way to know if you're still the one in control. Don't turn around. And the voice was quiet, close. My chest tightens when I think about it. Because now, there was no question where it was. Not the window, not the curtain. Right behind him. Marcus froze, because he hadn't spoken, Hadn't thought it, hadn't expected anything, and still, the voice was there, clear, calm, certain. He tried to breathe, tried to stay still, tried not to react, but the distance was gone, completely. He could feel it, not touching, not visible, just present, exactly where he was. Then it spoke again. He already did. His chest tightened violently because he hadn't turned. Not yet. But the thought came after, not before. And in that moment, something became undeniable. He didn't need to turn around. Something behind him already knew what he would see. The scariest part isn't what's outside your window. It's what happens after you look. My chest tightens when I think about it, because looking creates connection, and connection removes distance. At first it's outside, something you can ignore, something you can avoid. Then it reacts. It matches you, follows you, learns you, until the line disappears, until outside becomes inside, until you're not sure anymore where it is or where you are. And that's when it changes. Not suddenly, not violently, quietly, perfectly, until there's no difference left between you and whatever was watching you. And in that moment, something becomes undeniable. You weren't just looking out the window. Something was looking back until it didn't need the window anymore. Thanks for watching. Now think about this. If you saw someone outside your window at night, would you look closer? Or would you close the curtain and pretend you saw nothing? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe